All right, now go to Time Machine. Okay, and that is under Site and Time Machine, right where the site browser is. Click on Time Machine. Click on the Future option, and then go ahead and select just today's date. So we'll go ahead and select February, the 12th or the 13th. Let's go and select the future just on the 13th, and then you have to choose a language version. I want to just peruse it in English. Brings us to our home page for this Quest site, and that's why I said you have to be able to navigate to your movie detail page. So I'm selecting training in D&G, then my movie detail shows me only Black Panther. All right, perfect. Now I want to select February 24th. Now I had the other one set to publish on the 23rd, so I'm going to select February 24th. Reloads the page. Then I select D&G, and now I'm looking at my movie detail on the February 24th. This guy publishes itself on the 23rd, and it's showing up. Now, I think I had Black Panther scheduled to unpublish itself on March 31st. So let me go beyond that date and see Black Panther disappear, and then Annihilation will be the only movie on the page. So now I just move forward a little bit more in time to April 2nd. And then I go back to my D&G, and I should see Black Panther unpublish itself, which is true. So everything's working correctly on our time-sensitive content, and content is automatically publishing and unpublishing itself, and it really will. You'll see that your published content will go to orange light status. Your orange light status will automatically go to green published light status. The content really does get changed at that time and changes status because we have configured it that way. So you don't have to. It's not default behavior, but you may schedule the publishing and unpublishing of content, and you can preview it using the Time Machine. Now, what if I want a snapshot of my complete site so that if somebody changes my homepage and then they deny that the changes were ever made, obviously there's tracking on that, but I can go here to the past as an admin, go to settings, and say I want demo.cms.com. So I clicked on add site. I don't want you guys to do this, just watch this. Add site. I want to include maybe all sites or just the English language version of this site. And then I say, when do I want it to run? Let's just say once a day at 1 a.m. It's going to back up the static HTML of the entire site. But I do have a save and run now. So I'm running that static backup of my site. And the second it's done running, then I'll have an option available here, which right now I don't for the past. So we'll come back here in a minute and we'll look at that snapshot, and we'll show that it is a prior version to the current site. Okay. And where does it, whenever you snapshot, where does it put the Time Machine static HTML, kind of like the Wayback Time Machine snapshots? If I look here on my local host, and I look at let me see, dotCMS 4.2, and I go into, this is my main dotCMS 4.2.2 installation on my local machine. I go into dotServer, I go into Tomcat, Web Apps, Root, and then here's my assets directory in my .secure directory. If I go into assets, there's Time Machine, and then here it keeps track of all my snapshots in the Time Machine. And I only have one snapshot of that particular local website. So it's inside your assets directory. All right, we go back to the site and I refresh. Now I should have my static backup. I look at the past and it should have that timestamp. Now before I look at it, I want to change the home page so I can actually verify that what I'm looking at is a statically backed up site and not my real site in its current state. So I'm going to lock for editing the home page. I'm going to edit some content on the home page. lock for editing, save and publish that change. Okay, so here, if we look at our live version of our current site, it's got this big change here, right? Now, if I go back to my time machine and I look at the past, and I look at just a few seconds ago, and I select English, then it's still showing the correct content before the edit, right? Because the snapshot occurred before. So if somebody tries to tell you, oh, the new site is just like it was in the past, or you just, what was the name of that piece of content that was being pulled? I can't remember. I know it was pulling last week. What is it? How can I find it in the database? What's the title for it? You can step back to any prior snapshot, look at it, and then, search for the title to that content, or, verify with another webmaster what it used to look like, and then edit the template, see what happened, look at the history, because you'll have the timestamp of when it was good. So you should be able to look at the history and bring back a version of the template whenever everything looked correct. Just a helpful way to preview content that will auto-publish itself in the future and look at the past on your website. And the same mechanism we use to back up all the static HTML here of the site is the same we use in our push publishing to push publish static versions of websites over to another endpoint. Okay.